Well, this cabinet, Alden built this cabinet when we got home from our first mission. And people had given us different items to bring home with us, and we had some things from his first mission even that we needed to display, and so he built this cabinet, and it's been filled with a lot of memories. And I guess one of the first things that anyway, we got acquainted with the Snediflers, and Sister Snedifler made this, and gave it to me. And they were one of the old missionaries that survived the communist years and were faithful in the gospel. And when we went on our first mission, they were presiding over the Freiburg Temple, and they were just such dear people. And then on our second mission, we were their home teachers, and got acquainted with them even better. And this is one of the things that Alden brought home from his first mission, and it was a doll that he carried. All of you know the story about him being in prison for suspicion of espionage at the end of his mission, but this was one of the things that he carried out, was this doll. And Lene has it, and I just have the picture. But it's been a beautiful thing to have. And the people there, we had an apartment that was on the second floor, and we never knew what was going to be in the stairway. But these are some of the marionettes, and they're really big into marionette shows and so forth. It's part of their traditions, and it's just awesome. But these are some of those things. They have what they call the the kiosks anyway, in the town squares and so forth. And this is where we found these, and it's made from one stick of wood, and it's feathered like that. And this is made by one of our members. Her father taught her how to do that, and it's even more precise. Did a lot of that sort of thing, and they did a lot of carving. And you could there was one of the villages that had a nativity scene that was all carved out of wood, and even and it moved. The different chains were made out of wood, and they would move in different areas of the display. And we were able to see that a couple of times. We have a video of it somewhere, but I don't know where. But the whole village was full of nativity scenes and wood carvings of all sorts. Another thing that they did professionally was the corn statues, and the detail of them is really interesting. And this was one of the displays that they did. And another one was the mother and the children, and their they were given to us, and as we were leaving or whatever. This one is, we had one sister in our branch that loved dolls, and her apartment was just full of dolls, and she would make new costumes for them each season. And she gave me a doll for each of our missions, and this is one of them, and this is the other one. This little gal, and she and her daughter. Her daughter was our photographer, and she always liked to take pictures of us with our mouth open, or our backs. This is part of their jewels, their handwork, and I have no clue how they did that sort of thing. This is the picture of the lady that made the dolls, and she was giving me this doll to bring home. Sister Bartosheva.
What about the doll that you gave me for Christmas?
Oh.
Was that 3-4 years ago?
Yes. Well, that was one that one of the members had given to us, and they were just always so kind, taking care of us and being sure that we were all okay. And they are just wonderful people, just like you and I, but they have their costumes for their seasons. And I have books of different costumes and things. Maybe we can show them later. This is a doily that Alden brought home from his first mission, and was done by one of the members. And there was one great big one, and then several of these smaller ones. And they're very patient people. This is a Christmas card made with the wheat, I guess. But how could you put that together? I couldn't imagine making those. But they have the patience of Job, I think. Okay. This one. You already have a picture of this. And this was, it's a Russian orphan doll. And she doesn't look very happy. And she looks like she'd be very cold, probably some from Siberia. And her little shoes are not very well, are well worn, not doing her very much good. And one of our interpreters gave that to us, and it was nice of them to do that, I guess.
So did you have interpreters for like Sundays only, or how often did you have an interpreter?
Well, if we spoke in church, we had an interpreter, and so we'd just say a little bit, and then they would interpret it, and then we'd say some more and interpret that. And they asked us to speak in church one day, and they said, you'll have 7 minutes, and or 15 minutes anyway. And then they came back and said, oh, because we have to interpret, you'll only have 7 minutes. So we learned to do that. But we worked in the office both times, and we learned English, or spoke English most of the time. So we didn't learn the language. I didn't learn the language very well. Alden learned. His language came back to him, having been there before, and he did a lot of business with the banks and dealings with the lawyers and cars and things like that. So he did very well. This is the Czech people, their first export is beer. The Polsen beer. There's a village by the name of Polsen over there, and that's where that came from. And then the second transport is their cut glass, and this is one of their beauties that we brought home with us. And there's a vase as well, and we were there for our 50th anniversary, and so we had bought this, and it came from Czechoslovakia. And the Winters were there. Barbara and Richard Winter were there. He was. They didn't have a patriarch, so he would go over about twice a year and give patriarchal blessings. And they were there when our anniversary came around, and they took us out to dinner and wined and dined. It was so fun to have interact with them. We had a friend, Alina, who traveled a lot, and she worked at a university in Salzburg, and she was always bringing things back to us, and this is one of them that she brought back. Guess I better lay it down. And Alina was always taking us to, on weekends, to different places so that we could know more about the country. And they took us to this Carlo Lavardi, and it was a resort town, and it was noted for its mineral springs. And some of the doctors would send their patients there to spend time and drink the different minerals from different mineral fountains. And this is one of the cups that you could fill the cup here, and then you could suck through the little, and periodically just sipping at it. This isn't from Czechoslovakia. It's from England, and it's Alden's great-grandmother's. And when she joined the church, her parents disowned her, and this was one plate that she got out of her home, and it's been broken and put back together, but we still have it. And that was, let's see, her name was Emmeline Hibbard McNeil. Anyway, she came from Wales, actually. But anyway, that's where that came from. I don't know how you want to see these. Let's get them over here.
You can see everything right here. It's fine.
The town square was filled with these little booths, and people would bring their wares and their handwork and their different items. And at Easter time, they brought these eggs that were decorated so well, and how they put holes in it and decorated it so well, I don't know. They do have a lot of patience. This one we saw the grandma just taking a pen, and she'd put this decoration on here. And of course it's the one that got broken, but we still keep it. And several of the young mothers and would decorate eggs and sell them at that. And this has the wheat design on it. And they're just, anyway. But this is a container that Kim and Nancy's kids gave us at one point, and it just is perfect to display them in. I think I didn't put it on right.
Yeah. Goes that way.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's it for this. Oh, this one. Oh, okay. We on our second mission, we had a group of Russian members of the branch, and there were about 10 or 12 of them, I think. And they would meet with us during our meeting and work on their Czech language. And they would meet just their group alone and discuss things in their Russian language. And when we left, they gave us this babushka, and it's the stacking dolls, and there's 8 of them, I think, in it. We'd have to ask Jane. She knows. She loves playing, and all the grandkids love to play with it. So that's.
Okay.
Oh,
I think
those
these two, and then this
Oh, okay.
for the.
Okay. Well, this is from Alana. She spent some time in England, and she brought us back one of the royal guards in her little box. She was always doing that. We were just her mom and dad while we were in there, and I still hear from her. And we served our first mission in 93 and 94, and went back again in 99 and 2000, and I still hear from her. We still message each other once in a while. So that's pretty awesome. This is one of the eggs that we did in Relief Society. They put a leaf on it, and then the cheesecloth, and then dipped it in for the beautiful color. And this was it's a wooden one, but they have Indians over there, and they had. We see Indian designs and things like that on at times.
Let's do this plate.
I could just hold it. Okay. This plate is my mother's niceware. And when she passed away, I got the plates, and Nancy took them and had a friend that put Alvaretta Robinson Dixon and August 27th, 1893 to April 26th, April 1980 on it. And so I think each of the children have one. Okay, and this is a cup and saucer. We were invited to dinner at one of the homes, and she insisted we take a cup and saucer from their awesome group of ware. And that, I can't remember their names now. It's been too long. And this is a picture of that came from that big display that I was talking about earlier, and just a portion of it. And anyway, it was big enough. It was, they sent it all over the world to different fairs and things to share it. And that it had had some wear and tear on it, so they weren't letting it go any place anymore. So that was that. And these are the cut glasses that we brought home. 6 of them. This is one of their lovely designs and plates that they had that we brought home with us. Someone gave us to bring home. This came, our first landlady gave us this to bring home in remembrance of them. They were so good to us. And this is just a little doll. They made a lot of these. They're so cute, but detailed. These are from Alden's first mission. He put these in with the doll and brought them home with him. And the tatting, or the crocheting on this, is with such fine thread. I don't know how they did it, but it's just gorgeous. This is their cut glass, or cut handwork that they did. And can you imagine doing this all around the edge of this? But they did. It was awesome. That's those colors that were on their plate. And this is some more of the awesome handwork that they did. But they're westernizing very fast, and they're doing more on machines and so forth now. You don't see a lot of truly handwork done. This is another one that they did. But these came from his first mission in 48. This one came from our second mission. Someone gave to us with the cut work around the edge. One of our sweet sisters did this one for us on our second mission. And they would get together on Wednesday, I believe it was, and they'd do handwork on and have things ready to give American visitors when they came. And so we were able to be in on that, and this is one of them. It's just beautifully done. Anyway, that's basically it. I've got books and things, but that's...
Can you talk about the spoons that are on the wall behind you again?
Oh, okay. I have a collection of spoons, and they came from all over the world. Europe and Italy and Bahamas and Hawaiians. And anyway, Lene was in Japan on business, and she was looking for a spoon to bring home to me and realized they didn't have spoons. They used chopsticks. So she brought me a beautiful pair of chopsticks. And but it's I just wanted the ones that the spoons that meant something to me, a personal collection or connection. So
And they mostly came from other people, not from your personal travels.
Most of them from my personal travels, but
Oh, okay. Awesome.
but some from other people. Brendan brought me one from Singapore, and some of his travels. So, yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
This is one that they put the design on in wax, and then they dye it, and then they wash it, and the wax comes off, and the design is there. And that's their method of that one.
Cool.
Watkins brought that back to us on one of their trips out in the mission, and brought that back
The
to
little
us.
yellow plate. Are those
That's
flowers?
Uh-huh.
It almost looks like an olive from here, so I was just trying to see. Pretty little flowers in it, though.
the yellow plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flowers, and that's their traditional. A lot of their colors are that. But the plates and things that I had that Alden got for us were blue and white, and they called it it was a traditional design that they did. Okay. Bought a set of dishes and gave to me for us for our anniversary.
And that was your 50th on your mission?
And anyway. And this is an Austrian doll. We had a friend that worked in Austria, and she brought us several things. I'll leave that one there. This is not from Czechoslovakia, but it's from Alden's history.
Well, I think the whole point is anything that you have some value to.
Oh.
I want to know why.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it doesn't have to be specific from your mission.
Uh-huh.
I just figure if you guys are putting it in this handcrafted cabinet,
Yeah.
you know, there's
Let's
a
see,
memory
just
behind it or something behind why it is there.
Yeah. And this is Mother's. Anyway. Okay, that's the second. Now, I've forgotten. Okay.